All right. We're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smart Money Community. How you guys doing today? Great to be here. Man, it's been a while. Actually, it hasn't been that long, but it's been a minute here. Haven't been able to get in live for a little bit. It's been just so busy, which is good. Busy is best. But I have missed coming in here and sharing with you guys and just being live with you. So great to be back. Woo! A lot of celebrations have been coming through. I don't know if you guys been following, but just win after win after win after win. There's been more wins than we've had time to post and celebrate with. I'll just say it that way. So you're getting a few of the wins, but behind the scenes, there's been so many other wins going on here. So we're super excited about that here. But today, hey, let me ask you a question. Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Comment below, say me, 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 if that's you. Now, somebody might be thinking, why be a millionaire? Well, I'll be honest, being a millionaire, like it's not about the money. That's what you can do with the money that matters. I mean, let's be honest, like to be a millionaire just for sake of being a millionaire, it's useless, meaningless. But it's what you can do with that money that counts. And somebody might think, well, Mike, why $1 million? Because if you're my generation or younger and potentially a little bit older, you're going to need roughly about $1 million once you hit retirement. Because what $1 million will do for you is, generally speaking, that $1 million should produce for you roughly about 60, 70, 80, maybe $100,000 a year passively for the rest of your life. Okay, that's what the potential of $1 million can do for you. It's passive income for the rest of your life, right? It's not relying on government pensions, work pensions. Which, hey, if they are there, great, take them. But here's the problem with work pensions and government pensions. Work pensions, number one, usually pay about 60% of what you earn during your working lifetime. So let's just say you make $100,000 a year. Your work pension once you retire is usually in the ballpark of $60,000 a year, and then that's taxed. So you're living on a lot less in your retirement years off of pensions. And then government pensions like OAS and CPP for all the Canadians out there is just garbage. Like, let's just call it what it is. Minimum wage for students is now $15, $16 an hour. Okay. So you work, let's pull up my calculator here. So if you work 15 an hour times, let's just say you work 40 hours a week times four. Yeah, that's about $2,400 a month. Your CPP pension pays you 12, maybe $1,300 a month. Why isn't CPP getting a raise if everything else is getting a raise? Huh. I wonder why. So if you get access to that stuff, great. That's icing on the cake. But you really need to do this for yourself. You need to build wealth for yourself here so you don't have to rely on government work pensions. I mean, just ask all the people that worked for Sears and was it Enron that went out of business? And there's many others that have gone out of business, but they don't have pensions anymore. Their pensions were included in the bankruptcy. So you really want to learn to build wealth for yourself. And if you get the pension, let that be the icing on the cake. Let that be the gravy on the fries, if you like that. The cheese on the spaghetti, whatever you want to call it. But you've really got to learn to build wealth. And here's the cool part is we've been, I don't know, coaching for years now. And I've noticed a pattern with every coaching call we do. And many of you have been on these coaching calls where we've sat there and said, hey, if we can turn the situation around, you now have the opportunity to become a millionaire. And I'll walk you through the numbers. And so I thought about a month ago, I thought, hey, maybe it'd be kind of cool if I sat down and kept track of everyone we've talked to and how many of them become millionaires. And so the last month we've talked to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 people. Um, and I think every single one of them hit that $1 million mark, if not better. And so what I want to do is I want to show you a couple of these, and then let me dive into showing you how to do it. Okay. Now the cool part is it doesn't matter what age and stage you're at. For these people, they were able to do it. So watch this. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. Here's the first one. Okay. We talked to a lady. She was 43 at the time. Okay. This month. And what I do is I project out. So the way it works is I try and say if we could pay off, if we just take the money going towards the debt, it's not about making more money, finding more income. It's just saying if we could get debt free, free up that money and use that money to build wealth, this is what things could look like. Okay. Now, in this case, this girl was 43 years old at the time, 2 years to get debt free. Okay. Most people take 24 months, whether you have $100,000, $50,000, $200,000, $30,000. Most people could do it in 24 months or less. So I usually say if we start 2 years from now, so this would put her at 45 and rent it to 65. That's 20 years, retires at 65, starting with nothing. Okay. She's starting with nothing. Hold on here. Let's grab my, yeah, starting with nothing. And she's paying $1,000 a month towards her debt right now. Credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, all of that. $1,000 a month. And I said, if you can earn 12.5%, stock market has averaged 12% over the last 30 years. So if you could just slightly beat the stock market, not hard to do, but if you could just slightly beat the stock market, this is what it would grow to over 20 years. 20 years to become a millionaire starting with nothing. 20 years to become a millionaire. She's never learned. She was like, how did I never learn this? I'm like, it's in 10 minutes. I've just shown you how to get, the math behind getting to a millionaire. Now, your habits and behaviors have to change. Your limiting beliefs have to change. Your self-sabotaging emotions have to change. So there's more to it than just the math. But mathematically, she's a millionaire. And check this out. Her total contribution is only $240,000. Her total growth, $818,000. That's not her money. That's the stock market. That's time and compound interest earning money for her. What? That is insane. That is insane. But that's how that works. So that's one example. I'll show you. I talked to a lady yesterday. $5 million potential. What? $5 million? She must be making thousands of dollars a month. No. Okay. Let me just delete this here. I don't want to give away who they are. Maybe I can't delete it now. I can't delete it. I'll just block it out. There we go. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So this girl I talked to yesterday, her and her husband are about 35 years old right now. They've been in debt for 15 years. The classic college education, go to college. Oh, get your first credit card. It's free. And we'll give you a free burrito if you sign up today. I mean, how many of us have done that? Comment below in the chat. Me. I did that. Got the free t-shirt. Maybe you got the free Frisbee. Maybe you were lucky enough to get the free meal. But we all start there. And 15 years later, she's in more debt than they've ever been. Can't seem to figure it out. But check this out. I said, if you can get debt free in 24 months, which you can, the right strategy with the right plan with the right coach, 100% possible to be debt free in 24 months. You'll be 37 years old at that point. Okay. You're 35 today, 2 years to get debt free, 37. We ran it to 65. Okay. Starting with nothing. Again, about $1,000 a month going towards credit card debt, Visa, MasterCard, all those people. In her case, I said you could probably average 15%. Because again, not hard to do. It's just beating the stock market by a little bit. And it's super easy to do that. Just don't invest in all the bad companies. That's why your mutual funds suck. All your mutual funds are low performance because they got so many bad companies for every good company. We just get rid of the bad ones, invest in the good ones. And actually 15% is actually low for that. You'd be closer to 20, maybe 25, 30%. But we said, let's do a conservative estimate of 15%. And check this out, $5.1 million. Holy cow. Again, her total contributions would only be $336,000 from 37 to 65, $1,000 a month, $336,000. Her total growth would be $4.7 million. The stock market gave her $4.7 million. Jeez Louise. Everybody watching this has the potential to become a millionaire or at least do better with their finances. Every single person. So there's another example. Let me see. I've got 29 of these. So I'm not going to share all 29 of these, but let me go find another one of someone maybe who is in their um yeah, I don't know, 50s. There we go. 51, $1.3 million. Let me share this one. Okay. This is someone in their 50s. So for all of you that are in your 50s, is it too late? Comment below, say no, it's not too late. I can win. I can do well. I can be successful. Okay. Another lady I talked to, she's currently 49. Okay. So 2 years again, same plan, 2 years to get debt free, puts her at 51. Okay. She'd be 51 by the time she got debt free. We ran into 67. Okay. So a couple years into, again, most people, new retirement age is 67, by the way. That's the new retirement age. You see that right there. Okay. So 51 to 67, what's that? That's roughly 15, 16 years. Okay. She's putting $1,700 a month towards Visa and MasterCard. Okay. We said if we could get debt free in 2 years, free up that $1,700 a month. Oh, sorry. She has 17. My bad. I read that wrong. She's got $17,000 in investments currently, and she's paying $1,500 a month towards Visa, MasterCard. Mess that up. If we could get debt free and free up that $1,500 again, earn 15%. That's $1.3 million by the time she hits retirement. Wow. And time and time and time again, that's what my calls look like. Hey, if you were to stop paying Visa, and I don't mean stop paying Visa, I mean get out of debt. And by getting out of debt, you stop paying Visa. I don't mean stop paying them, like pay them. You owe them money. But if you were to finally get out of debt once and for all, stay debt free. Learn how to stay debt free. Most people don't know how to stay debt free anymore. They get out and they fall back in, and it's 2 years later and they're right in the same spot. Many of you have probably had that experience. I'm not going to tell you to comment below if you've had that experience, but I know most of you have had that experience, especially if you've been at this for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And what's so crazy is so many people are attached to what they're more comfortable with giving Visa another $1,500, another $1,000 payment month after month after month after month than they are changing the situation once and for all, getting debt free, and learning how to build wealth. And that's why most people today are broke. Not because you don't make enough money, not because of inflation, not because the little man can't get ahead, all that weird excuse stuff. It's because you aren't willing to do the thing you need to do to change. That's it. Some of you are because you're in my coaching program and you're doing it, you're killing it, and I love it, and you're on track to be a millionaire. But most of you are status quo. You're too scared to change because it's become comfortable. And that's what Visa wants to do. That's why they get in front of you so early, by the way. Visa gets in front of you usually before college. Usually before college. Anyone watch the Panther and Oilers game last night? You see any debt commercials? Yeah, they get in front of you and in front of your kids a lot earlier than college, but by the time they get to college, you're comfortable with them. And so you accept them. You believe their lies. And you're now mid-30s, mid-40s, and you're in more debt than you've ever been, and you're more comfortable paying your debt payments than you are investing to get out of, working with someone to get out of debt. And this is why most people will stay broke their whole lives, hands down. It's not because you don't make enough money. It's not because, housing has doubled in the last 5 years or whatever. And that's true. That's happened. I'm not like saying that hasn't happened, but that's not the reason why you're stuck and broke. That's what I want to get the point across. Oh my gosh, food's gone up 40%, and food's gone up. It's insane. Like to take my kids out to a meal at McDonald's. I'm like, what? 4 kids, 2 adults. You want $80? I got the 2-finger salute for them. So yeah, things have gotten expensive. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is the excuse that things have gotten expensive is the reason why you won't get debt free and build wealth is a lie. And as long as you hold on to that limiting belief, you will continue to have that a limiting belief. Okay. Let me show you why it's important to get to that $1 million status. Okay. Investment calculator here again. We'll just take the classic. Most people we work with are early 40s, early 50s. So we'll just go 45. Most people we work with have nothing saved or a little bit saved. Most people are anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 in debt. Again, get debt free, earn 15% return year over year. That's $3 million. By the time you get to retirement, that's 67. If you want to call it 65, that's $2 million. Okay. This is why it's important to do this. Okay, let's just say you get to retirement now. You're 65. We'll do this year by year. You've done well. You've grown your portfolio to $2 million, $2.2 million. We'll just put that number on the screen there. You never invest another dime again for the rest of your life. But at that point going forward, you only earn 8%, which is, again, easy to do when you understand how the stock market works. Watch this. Every year, and this is the number I want you to see right here. Every year, that $2.2 million will produce for you about $186,000 of income. And that's passive. You don't have to do anything before that. You just got to let the market sit and grow. And that's about 100, call it 185, we'll just ran down. Divide that by 12, that's $15,000 a month. Most of you, if you get this, if you understand this in your head and in your heart, you'll earn more money in retirement than you will during your working lifetime. Let that sit in. And the best part is we can do this tax-free. So that $15,000 a month is literally $15,000 a month, not $15,000 minus a whole bunch of taxes you'd have to pay, which depending on where you live, you're probably closer to 50%. So that $15,000 will look more like 7,500 a month. You can do it tax-free where, like, I hope this is getting you guys excited. This is crazy. For those of you that have kids, I've got a 10-year-old. I've been doing this now. We've been doing this for 2 years. So I'm going to walk back to 865. She invests $15 a month. Actually, all my kids do. $15 a month. They're not earning 15. They're earning like 25% right now. But we'll do it at 15. What? $15 a month from age 8 to 65 is $5.8 million. There's no reason why anyone should be broke. There's no reason why anyone should struggle other than it's your limiting beliefs holding you back. It's your habits and behaviors that got you into some trouble. And it's the self-sabotaging emotions causing you to make really bad financial decisions. That's it. It's the only thing holding you back. Your beliefs, your habits, behaviors, and your emotions. And what I find so funny is when we talk to people on our calls, these are people that want to work with us one-on-one. Most of the people we talk to, I'll do this with them. And like, I'll say, hey, like, how much do you think you can grow wealth to? And they'll give me like some meager answer, $200,000 or maybe $400,000. And it shows up as like $2.2 million or whatever. And I say to some, hey, like before the call, 20 minutes ago, before we hopped on the call, did you believe that you could become a millionaire? And almost 100% unanimously, it's a no. I'll say, isn't that interesting? In 20 minutes, your beliefs have now shifted. Now, you don't know how to get there yet. I get that. You need some steps on how to get there. But you just saw that it's in the realm of possibility if you're willing to do something different. And that's how coaching works, is your beliefs shift. It's why our average coaching client pays off $19,000. Right now this year, our average client is paying off $19,000 in about 6 months. Before they joined us, they never believed it could happen. But then all of a sudden it does. Your beliefs around the situation shift. See, if you only believe that you can pay off $1,000 a month and that's it, guess what you're only going to ever do? Pay off $1,000 a month. That's it. But if your belief can shift and say, hey, I can pay off $20,000 in the next 6 months. Right? $1,000 a month for 6 months is $6,000. If that's where your belief is at, that's what you'll probably do. But if your beliefs shift and you say, okay, I can do $20,000 in the next 6 months. Maybe you don't hit 20, maybe you hit 18, maybe you hit 15, but, or maybe you hit 22. But because your beliefs shifted, you're doing better and more than you thought you could ever do. And that's what one-on-one coaching does for people. We shift your beliefs around your current circumstance. You start to see an outcome that you didn't believe could happen, and it starts to happen for you because you believe now that it can happen. And then you got support to help you dig out the mind trash, because we all have it, mind trash, the limiting beliefs, the doubts, the fears, all of that stuff that's been programmed into us over many, many years and situations. That shifts, and that's how people get results. So, how could you become a millionaire? How could you be that next person that retires a millionaire, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million? How can you change your family tree so your kids can retire millionaires? Super simple. Step number one is you got to get on a monthly budget. Okay, now we call it a cash flow plan. It's a little bit different than a budget, the way conventional budgets have been taught. But essentially, you got to have a system where you manage your money every month. You see what's coming in, you have a plan together for what's going out before it ever goes out, and then you sit there and you track where it's going. Because what happens is you probably think you're spending this on your Starbucks drinks, but you're spending this. And as long as you have a gap like that, you'll never get there. You can't think you're doing this and do this and expect to win. So that's how the cash flow plan works. It says, hello, you think you're doing this, but you're actually doing this. We need to close the gap. Okay. Number two, hopefully you guys are writing this down. Okay. This is the step-by-step game plan right here. Number one is a cash flow plan. Number two is you need to have money in the bank. And I don't mean money, like, I don't mean like money that's in the bank and then disappearing a month later. I mean, like, you need to have, in business, we call it a retained earnings. A retained earnings account. Emergency fund. Some people, you can call it an emergency fund. Had one client call it an oh shit fund. Oh shit, life happened. But you got to have money put aside to cover the next unexpected thing that's going to come your way. Because you can cover the expected things. We all know that's going to happen, but it's the unexpected things that pull people back into debt. And if you don't have a plan for the unexpected, you will continue to struggle for the rest of your life. Because unexpected is going to show up time and time and time and time again. So you got to have some money put aside for the unexpected things. The AC going in the summer, the brakes going in the car, all that stuff. Okay, because if you don't have that, you'll never get ahead. The next unexpected thing will always pull you back. And that's what Visa and MasterCard want, by the way. Okay, Visa and MasterCard want that to happen because it means they continue to make money off of your misfortune. Okay. Then from there, you got to have a plan to pay off that debt and pay it off fast. If your plan is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, or longer, your plan sucks. I just call it out like it is. Your plan sucks, and you probably won't get there. And here's why. When debt has been around for too long, it becomes normal. It becomes a normal part of life. Car payments become normal, all that stuff. But when something becomes normal, it becomes very hard to break the pattern of normal, which is why so many of y'all have stayed in debt for so long, because it's comfortable and normal. Car payments are comfortable. We've believed the lie that car payments are just the way of life. Everyone has a car payment, right? Wrong. Not everyone has a car payment. Everyone carries a card for car. Everyone carries a credit card for, perks and points, right? I get my perks and points. Wrong. I've studied millionaires for years. I cannot find one millionaire that says I made my millions off of perks and points. Perks and points. Not one. Yeah, I can count. I can't even count. There's countless middle class people I talk to and broke people that I talk to. They're like, yeah, perks and points, baby. I'm making it. Middle class and broke. That's your mantra. Perks and points. Perks and points. That's your mantra. I get my perks and my points, but I use my credit card. What you don't understand is I do the same research that Visa does and MasterCard does, and we all know the data. If you hold a credit card in your wallet long enough, you will eventually end up in credit card payments. That's how Visa made $40 billion last year. So all us wealthy people and all us rich people don't, I mean, If you get points and perks, sure, whatever. But it's not the thing changing our lives. We know that. Like, we know that. It's a middle class and broke class mantra. I get my perks and points. So you got to change. That's a mindset shift. That's a mindset shift that has to happen there. But on top of that, you've got to have a real good plan to be debt free. I'd say 24 months or less. Now, if you're like multiple six figures in debt, maybe 36 months or less. But it can happen. All right. Then from there, you've got to have a plan to stay debt free. And that's probably most important. It's everyone can get debt free. You can remortgage into the house 0%. Some go bankrupt, all this stuff. What I have found is the majority of people don't have a plan to stay debt free. And so over time, they slowly slip back in. And it usually takes about 2 to 3, sometimes 2 to 5 years to end up right back in the spot you were before you got out of debt. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there as well. I won't dive into that today, but I plan to stay debt free. Okay. And then you take that money that you freed up, $1,000 a month. I mean, just look at how much you're paying your debt every month. Car payments, OSAP, credit cards, lines of credit, HELOCs, maybe you owe your broke brother-in-law money, whatever. Add that all up. And if that's 1,000 or if that's 1,500 or if that's 2,000 or 2,500 a month, pull up an investment calculator like I just did and just do the math. If I could invest this money instead and earn 15% instead of paying 18% or 20%, what does this grow to in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years? Most people we work with could be millionaires within 20 years. I wish I taught you. I wish they taught you that in high school. At 18, before you graduated, you had to do the test. How long will it take for you to become a millionaire? And do the math. That you should be able to. You should have to do that before you graduate. If you can't figure that out, you don't graduate. You stick around another year. Anyways, cash flow plan, emergency fund, a plan to get debt free within 24 months. If your plan's longer than that, you're probably doing it wrong. I'll say it that way. A plan to stay debt free once and for all, and then learn how to build wealth. Now, I've shown you the math behind it in terms of learning how to do it all stuff. That's a whole nother skill set and strategy, but you can do it. You can get there. You don't have to be the classic story of living paycheck to paycheck your whole life. And the belief that one day it's going to happen is, oh man, that's probably one of the biggest myths of all. One day I'll get there. One day that ain't going to happen. One day things don't just change automatically. The person that got you to where you are today is not the person that's going to get you to these goals going forward. Just keep that in mind. If something doesn't fundamentally change, mindset, habits and behaviors, the emotional side of things, self-sabotaging emotions, if that doesn't fundamentally change, nothing changes long term. So if you can't do it yourself, if you've been trying this now for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, so on and so forth, and you have not had permanent success, I invite you to book a call with us. Okay? moneycoachmike.com/call is where you can do that. Now, just to be clear, okay, this isn't for butt lazy people. And if that just offended you, this probably isn't for you either then. But if you're a couch potato, hoping that I could just snap my fingers, that's going to happen for you, don't book the call. We won't work with you. You've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired and highly motivated to do something different. And if you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're not highly motivated to do something different, then just keep doing what you're doing. And when you get sick and tired, we'll be here and you can come to us then. But if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're more upset that Visa charges you $1,000 a month and you want to get out of that, book this call. If you got inspired that, holy cow, maybe Mike is crazy enough that this works. Been working for years for people now. Book that call. Because here's the reality, guys. I'll end here. Here's the reality. For you 45-year-olds will do this. So, if you have $1,000 a month you pay towards Visa, remember Visa doesn't charge 15%. For most of you, Visa is probably about 22%. This is Visa's number over that same time frame. The sad part is, yeah, most people, you don't want to be in debt for 22 years. The sad part is most people are in debt. But here's the crazy part: most people don't get into debt at 45. They're more like in their 20s doing this. And that same number looks more like this now. Now, maybe you don't do $1,000 right off the top. Maybe you're like $300 a month, but eventually over time, if you stay with these guys long enough, it gets to that and even higher. So if we just average $1,000 out, that's per person, by the way, $516 million. This probably costs them 2% to borrow that money to lend to you, because that's how they do it. This is how Visa becomes a $40 billion company year over year. And that's one credit card. Now we got MasterCard, again, high 40s. Amex is even higher. I think they're $60 billion a year. Discover, Chase, you got a whole bunch of them out there. Multi-$100 billion industry. And so this is what Visa looks forward to. And so I'd say this: if Visa hasn't come knocking at your door to show you how to solve this problem, get debt free, and build wealth, come knocking at our door and we'll show you how to do it. MoneyCoachMike.com/call is where you can do that. All right, guys. So hopefully this has inspired you. Listen, if you're ready to win, you can get there. Okay. You can get there 100%. You've got to be more sick and tired of paying Visa every month than it's going to take to do the work to get out of this. That's what it comes down to. All right. And if you are, hop on that call. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.